Good morning, I'm Ruben Esquivel, and today I'm going to show you how to plant this tree seedling. All right, step one, and very important, a little silly, but it makes a lot of sense. When you pick an area where you're gonna plant your tree, always remember to look up. Why? Very important, because we have power lines, we have houses, fences, things that we don't want our tree to eventually encroach into or grow into a power line. So we ready? Okay, so I'm gonna use this as an example of where you can plant your tree. One rule of thumb that I like to use is to use something like the size of a wheel. This is the size of the area that you're gonna dedicate for your tree, okay? So we're gonna use this, kind of gives you an idea of how big, okay? Another good example to use. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna use an area of this size, and we're gonna clear it of grass, weeds, anything that's gonna compete with your sapling, all right? We want everything, all the water, nutrients to go to your seedling and not to the weeds or grass. Make sense? Okay, here we go. So, you only need to dig this. A lot of people have a misconception of digging this giant hole to plant this little tree. And if you do that, what's gonna happen, once you water, you're gonna lose your tree in that hole, okay? So no need to dig a deep hole. All you need is this deep right here, okay? Because the roots start here and the tree roots are ending right about this area, okay? All right, so once you've cleared your area, like I said, the size of about a bicycle wheel, that much right there, we're gonna clear this off, okay? Make sure you get all the grasses, weeds, anything that's gonna compete with your tree. All right, once you've done that, we start digging, okay? And I know I have it easy right now. Some of the areas out there are pretty hard, so don't forget, if you're gonna have a hard time digging, a good shovel to use, a sharpshooter, is a great tool to dig this out with, okay? I know that New Mexico grounds are not the softest soils around, but just a little muscle behind this will get you there. All right, so one thing to do is to just use your sapling and measure with it to see how deep we're gonna go, okay? As you can see, we're still kind of shallow, so we're gonna continue to dig, okay? Get a little bigger spade here. Take this soil out. Okay. Okay. So now, you see there? Now we're looking more level. And that's what you want to do. You do not want to plant your sapling any deeper than the start of the soil here. This tells you, hey, I only want to be planted this deep. Okay? We don't want the soil to end up this high. Make sure you have on hand, you have your water ready to water it once you get this planted. Have your shovels, tools, and another thing too is that when we finish the planting, we're going to use some mulch. Okay? All right, so we're ready. Now, remember, do not plant this plant just like this in the container. You need to take it out of the container, expose those roots, let those roots follow the water, all right? One way of getting this thing out is to squeeze and free the roots from the plastic here of this container, and that's gonna allow you to just pull this right out, okay? Do it carefully. I don't want you guys using any kind of knife or anything cutting this container. There's no need to, all right? Just squeeze down, make sure the soil is pulled apart from that plastic. You're gonna invert this plant, still squeezing, and it'll release, okay? Just like that. So we're ready, okay? We checked our depth again, good to go. And here we go. Okay? Once you have your plant in there, you begin to cover. Now don't be afraid to push down to this soil, pat it down really good to get a lot of those air pockets out of there, okay? And also stabilize your plant. All right. Once you do that, you bring in this soil, like I said, just to the top of what the existing plant has, okay? That's a good indicator to let you know how deep you're gonna plant this plant. Then, what I would like for you to do is to create a little basin here. It's gonna hold your water, it's gonna hold your mulch, okay? So, as you do this, you've created this basin. It's gonna hold plenty of water for your tree. So now that you've created your basin, we're ready to add mulch. Okay, here we are. Now, again, on mulch, it doesn't matter what color mulch you do. That's really to your preference, whatever you like, whatever is gonna make you feel good, okay? The plant, believe me, is gonna enjoy any color mulch you give it. Okay, so we're gonna add some mulch here. And this is not a have to, but I'll tell you what, it does big wonders to the plant. Of course, you're gonna water less, is gonna hold the moisture a lot longer, okay? So, again, like the size of that wheel that I showed you, which is also a good example to go by. You wonder how big, what size? Well, if you need to pull that wheel off the bike to do it, I guess do so. But anyhow, here we are. We've done this and we're ready to enjoy this tree for years to come. You know, like the forestry department has on their logos, when is the perfect time to plant a tree? Well, 20 years ago. That's what it reads there. And you know what? It makes a lot of sense because we plant those trees for our future generations. 20 years ago, you planted a tree, and of course, you're enjoying the fruits of it now. So I say, quit wasting time, get these trees planted. So 20 years from now, you can say, hey, I planted this. One good thing that I have the joy of seeing is I go over to my parents' house and see the trees that we planted 20 years ago. Great big trees now. And they were all Arbor Day trees. So with that, I want to give you thanks for helping us plant trees in Roswell. We are celebrating our 31st year of Tree City, USA. And you help that award be awarded to Roswell. And it's been 31 continuous years of that. And with the thanks of you guys planting trees, we were able to reach that. I also want to thank Carol Beta with the Forestry Department, which is the person that we go to acquire these plants. I want to thank Dr. Marissa Thompson also for being a big inspiration and doing all what we do. Once again, thank you. My name is Ruben Esquivel, and I'm with the Cemetery Department and also your City Arborist. Thank you.